Alright guys, so today I'm going to try to clean out the underside of my MFT cable. As you can see, it looks terrible. It gets like this over time because I get to using it and I don't put things away like I need to. And I need more storage solution. So let's go ahead and pull these things out and see what we have down here. Alright, so here I have a box of basically box wrenches and crescent wrenches. So actually that container is too fragile for this weight of tools, so I need to figure out a different solution for that. Obviously I got the track saw here. Let's get that up out of here. And you know, you have these random tools like this hole drill that not really quite sure where I should be storing this, but I need to figure out a spot for that. And here I've got some Dremel supplies that I need to figure out what I'm going to do with those. Some other little bits and bobbles. Alright, let's put a top on this. For whatever reason, I continue to hold on to this Dremel container, though the things are not organized, and I can't shut it up inside here as long as I keep that container. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do with that. Times when I go to the store and I end up picking up stuff that I feel like I need, and then it just ends up sitting in the bag. The WD-40. This polishing kit, I was going to use this to actually, I was going to sand down my windshield, or not my windshield, my headlight on my car and try to repair, you know, how it kind of gets all glossed over time when it's aged. And I was going to use this to kind of buff it out and we'll sand it and then buff it afterwards. Haven't got around to that job yet. Old piece to a broom. Why is that down there? I have no clue, but it's there. Here I have, so I got a pair of channel locks here that needs to go with wrenches. And then this is a bunch of adjustable screwdrivers, and I have a small little power screwdriver for working on like computers and such. And then these multi-tip Milwaukee screwdrivers with the various bits on the inside. I got a small one that's similar. These are the bits to this electric screwdriver. Matter of fact, it might be good if I go ahead and put this back in here. Here I've got some connectors for when I was messing around with my compressor. Plumbing tape. This crescent wrench needs to go here. And then I bought this feeler gauge for testing. This is allegedly for engines or whatever, but I plan on using it for other things to test the gaps between different parts and components. So we'll see if that works for the woodworking as well. A filter for my compressor. Alright, so this is a crescent wrench set that I purchased that needs to be opened up and put where it needs to go. This is just some extra components to these lights. Let me put a top on that. Set that to the side. Oh, I've got a little electrical wire stripper. I had one of these in the past. I don't know what happened to it. And then a tester, electrical tester. That was for when I was having some kind of that issue with the truck with the tail light, and I didn't end up needing to use it at that time. Little socket deal. What is this? Central Pneumatic compressor oil. Got this. This is a Festool. I believe this is the ripping blade for the TS75. I've got this little container. It's just got a couple older style sanding blocks inside of it. I bought these right here from the dollar store to use for, you know, applying glue. They work pretty well, and the glue just basically just comes right off after when it dries. So this has been pretty handy. I do want to get one of those glue rollers though, with where the bottle is attached to the actual roller. This is another kind of screwdriver set, box or whatever, but these have the actual 1/4 inch attachments to it. These screwdrivers I need to put in with my adjustable screwdriver, which is here. This particular screwdriver I got, and this is specifically for working in with electricals. Got the added insulation. I can't really make out the brand, Commercial Electric or whatever. I got this from Home Depot. Down here I have my highly scientific doweling jig. I think I picked this up from Home Depot as well. I gotta find the bit though. It's probably with my drill bit somewhere. Next, I've got, this is just a covering for one of my Japanese pool saws, and obviously this is like a mud spreading knife. Okay, so here I got, this here has a climax, and we're going to go over that here shortly, or in another video. These are my festival clamps. I got a router bit here, random. Here I've got some more small screwdrivers. I've got MFT components in this particular. My instructions for the Parf Guide system. A domino. What is this? One of those drill bits. I think this may be extractor drill bit. These right here were actually the dividers to a particular container, but they also can work well as like glue spreaders and such, so I kept them around. Some Gorilla Glue, screw, here I've got a couple of small hammers for my daughters to use when they come in the shop. Actually, I have 3 of them. Some more MFT accessories, along with some rail accessories for the new Festool rail with the slots. This is the jig for the quad hinge system. Little buffer that I was going to utilize with the windshield or headlight repair. Not quite sure why this is out here. This is actually a bag for thermal intake. I think this may have came with either a power supply or the cables to a motherboard. Some microfiber cloths, sandpaper, Milwaukee nail gun instructions, a bag with sawdust in it. This here is a PowerTech T-Track hardware jig kit, or jig hardware kit. And it's got a bunch of T-bolts and knobs for making jigs. Something that I hope to be doing in the near future. This goes to a clamp. Clamp. Piece of random wood. Here I've got another buffer. Some polishing compound. Angle gauge. Caliper boxes. Compass. And that's that. Just random stuff that I don't use all the time. And this is a receipt. Some goggles and a glove, a single glove. I need to find the other one. Here I've got sanding block, microfiber cloth. This is a grout tool for, like, you know, when your grout's going bad, you can scrape out the old stuff and re-grout. Right here I've got my park guide sticks for doing the MFT table. I'm going to do another one of these. I'm going to do a video of me making an MFT top. Let me just check here to make sure there's no small screws or bolts that I may vacuum up. And the reason why this gets so messy like this is I'll often use this table as my outfeed with my table saw. And because I don't have a dust collection system set up as of yet, I'll often cut and all the dust just goes right up under the table saw. I mean, right up under the MFT. So I end up having to do this periodically where I come in and clean it out. Let me go ahead and just pull, let's clean this section here now. And then we'll turn the table all the way around and do the last one, or the other side. We'll get everything up on the tabletop, and then I'll kind of determine from there what I'm going to do, you know, as far as getting reorganizing it. So we got the dual tracks on here. This is got a paint opener in it, so I'll put this paint in there with it. Right here, I've got, this is my key for working with the TSO parallel guide. These are all MFT, or actually Bench Dogs fence accessories. So I put those with the Bench Dogs, or with the MFT equipment in here. Some random washers, small wrench. This is actually a rubber deal for the compression dogs. This is a part 2 Festool MFK 700. I think that may be the 0 degree base. This is the Seneca Woodworking Dummy plate that goes with the Domino XL to be able to get repeatable cuts. And just another, these are just regular screwdrivers here. Got some scissors, a magnet tool, some extra screws that need to go with the screws, and an Allen key. Let's put this Allen with these MFT components. Move this over here. Random screws and nails, small bungee cord. This is the top to one of the Festool bits. A stud finder in this container. And then this is the TSO Bigfoot. Looks like some kind of electronic component that broke off of something. All right, let's vacuum out this side and then turn this whole thing around and do the other side. right, so as you can see, one side is clean on the bottom. We're gonna turn the whole table around and then we'll work with the other side. This is one of the benefits to having your MFT on wheels. You can easily access either side and move it wherever you would like it to be in the shop. All right, so let's go ahead and make quick work of clearing out these bottoms, putting everything on top. Once I get everything on top, then I'll come back and try to figure out a way to get all of this organized so that it doesn't look like this. And then also giving me the option to be able to put my track saw underneath easily whenever I use the actual rail. All right, so here I've got, these are the accessories to my 5-in-1 drills. All of them except for the Festool is not in here. So that goes to the Bosch, the Milwaukee, and the DeWalt. Of course, they look totally terrible because I didn't put the top on there, right? So there is that. Here I've got some files and a couple cheap chisels. This is just the Makita, these are rods for the Makita router to be able to ride on the rail. We'll also use the fence guide system. Another overpacked plastic container. It's got some wrenches in, channel locks, wire cutters, tin snips, and also some ratchet and sockets. I don't know what brand this is, but I think this may be Diablo drill set. All right, here I've got this very inexpensive Harbor Freight chisel set. This is the packaging for Hardale 90-degree positioning squares. They're 140 by 140 millimeters, and those are in here in this container. Just got 2 of them because I wanted to try them out. I'll kind of give a little overview of those and what I think about them, probably in a small short video. These are obviously my rail squares, TSO and the bench dogs. This container here has a whole bunch of TSO products, some of them of which I haven't even opened yet. We've got the TSO angle stop. These are the Festool version that go over the actual rail. Some hinges for, I think, the triangle. So it's just random TSO components that I have here. My under rail for my bench dogs fence. This is the pointer for the MR18 triangle, the TSO, and just little random bits that go with that. Screwdrivers, more of those. I need to consolidate all my screwdrivers. These are just some Festool bits, Centrotech bits here. You know, ironically, I bought this one. This is a Centrotech kit, and I tried to use one of them. I think it was the T25, and it actually didn't fit in the actual in the Centrotech chuck. It's actually a little big, so I'll have to take that to the sander or the grinder and kind of sand it down to fit, which is disappointing because I actually paid Centrotech price and I basically got a random bit type. So it did not actually fit from the store. Now, because I didn't try them immediately out of the box and I bought them so long ago, of course I couldn't, you know, return it. But that's disappointing that basically I bought this particular kit, and I believe it was the T25 because it's not in here right now. And when I went to put it into the actual drill, let's see if these other ones fit. I don't know, maybe they will. And what helped me to notice that is because, you know, I thought something was wrong with the drill. Because when, you know, you pop it open and you go to put it in there, so you see it, it's supposed to slide in like that. And on the particular bit that I had, see, that shouldn't pull out. Now that's in there. So what was happening with the bit was when I put it in there, and I would go to engage a screw, all of a sudden, it was almost as if the drill had no power. It just kept spinning. And the reason being is because it was not inside, it was just going into the beginning of this area here, like this. So it's spinning now, but if I hold this, you see what's happening there? So it actually needs to be able to go all the way back into this portion to actually work, which is in there if you can see it. And for that particular bit, it wasn't doing it. That didn't seem like it was machined properly, but could have been user error, whatever. I got pencils here, marking tool, angle finder for like blades and table saw stuff, for removing staples. I like to use a lot of staples, different cord staples, parf guide pieces. Here I've got some, just some pry bars, some plastic ones for working on the car, you know, like if you're removing fenders and such like that, and then some smaller metal ones. This is the parf guide drilling apparatus, and this is the Bench Dog's cheat for the triangle. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a system where I wanna hang some of these things. You know, like if you look at the woodpecker's tools, they come with the MDF thing to put them in, and then they may have like a little piece of plastic that actually rotates to hold it in. I think I want to do that for things like the TSO triangle or rail squares. Do something similar for the some kind of a French cleat type holder for my parf guide system, so that it's readily available and accessible, but it also fits. Because if you look at the parf guide, you've got this component here, you've got these random bits here, and you see this doesn't fit in the container, and then this right here. So this is kind of, you know, unique to store, right? Theoretically, you want all of these components together so that you don't lose them. But I mean, look at the way, I mean, you'd have to come up with some kind of custom storage solution to keep all of that together and to also keep it, you know, neat or whatever, because I guess it came in a long box. And so I guess if you made like a long box that maybe had a hinge that popped up where all the components were on the inside, that would be good. You could actually take the, oh, almost broke my bit. You can make some kind of a cutout, a divot, like with a router to set this bit down inside. And then maybe these pins, you know, you just drill down into a piece of wood and stick those down, or maybe even Kaizen foam, maybe stick them down and have this stuff fastened in the kit. But obviously the whole apparatus is gonna have to be this long, which seems like a great waste, but I don't know, maybe if you added some extra accessories, like maybe if you know, if you had a reason to get an extra one of these. Now, maybe if you did this on a display, like say if you took a piece of MDF or something like that and put this like as a displayed item and you fastened it up to where it recessed in, so then it, you know, you at least get some kind of visual whatever, and it would be right there to be used. It also has this small little dust collection apparatus, and then you have these here as well. Let's clear the rest of this out. So here I just have a few like a drywall saw and a flip out Milwaukee hand saw. This, I've got electrical testers, gas tester to make sure you don't have to. And then this I have just some random bits and bobbles, accessories, like wall hangers and such. Here, I've got my, these are for the DF500. These are the actual dummy plates for, one is for 3/4 and 1/2 inch. The other one is for 18 millimeter and 12 millimeter, so that you go right in at the center of the board using the domino, and you don't have to adjust the fence, so you don't have any kind of issues with the fence kind of getting, you know, moving out of position. Now, if I had my receipt, I'd take both of these back, but I don't. I purchased these because when I was going over my other compressor, the smaller pancake one, and it was kind of blowing a gasket, I thought it was this that was actually damaged, so I went and bought one. I bought this one, which is the same one I have, and then I bought this upgraded one to try to compare it. And since I have yet to fix that compressor, once I fixed my bigger one and I used the old spray air blowgun, it worked perfectly fine, so I didn't even need these, so that's a waste. Here I have just some little hand saws, knife, and box cutter. Another glue apparatus, another Milwaukee ratchetable screw driver. Put that up there. Here I've got a glue bottle, or got glue bottles. This is actually the guide for my old jointer that bit the dust. All right, just some more drywall, plastic knives, a vacuum head, some sanding pads for the multi-tool. Here I've got some, what is this, some sandpaper. This is what I was going to use to sand down my headlights. Got some plastic 90-degree angles for clamping up things. Let's vacuum out the bottom of the table, and then we'll just kind of take a look at the rest of this nonsense. So as you can see here, there's a whole lot of stuff on the table after we went ahead and cleaned out the underside of the MFT. So let's take a look at under the MFT after the cleanup. And you can see all the space down here. All of the room to store whether it be tools or accessories and such. And this is, well, with the exception of this cord here, this wasn't there down there, but everything else was up underneath this table. So if I was to organize all this in this video, it would take entirely too long. So I'm going to break this up and address the organization of this mess in a future video. But for right now, you get to see what was up under my MFT, and you get to see what it looks like stock without all of the extra nonsense underneath it. Now, something that I've considered doing is, if you look at the base here, that to me looks like space that can be utilized. So if I were to remove this 2x4 from here and put another shelf on the bottom down here, I could potentially store tracks underneath this table. And I have considered that. If I look at my 102-inch track, which is right there, and maybe even the 118-inch track, what I could do is actually add an extension onto the MFT and put some kind of solution underneath the bottom here so that I could house all of my tracks underneath the table. That's just an idea that I've been thinking about. I did see a person, they had an actual track storage on the side. So basically I could kind of come out with a lip so that the track can actually sit down here, and then I would reach down, grab the track out, and it would move around with the actual table, which isn't a bad idea. However, I would still have to extend the table to some degree, because when I put the track up to the side here, it's actually sticking out on the edge. So I wouldn't have to extend the track or the table that much. And that is something that I may end up doing, is just extending the MFT just a little bit longer so that I could actually store my tracks on the side down like this. As long as it doesn't add too much bulk on the side to where I have to lean over to work with it, I don't think that that's a bad idea. I guess another thing that I could do if I was to try to do that is I could kind of build out the side a little bit too, so that the tracks would actually fit along the side and be stored on the table, roll around with the whole setup, and you know, maybe protrude out and give me a little bit more workspace on the edge. That's another thing I could do. I don't know, things to consider. So anyways, thanks for taking time to watch the video. I know it was a long one. I'll see you in my next one. Take care.